Something must have gone horribly, horribly bad during this case right here, because honestly, it really did look like the FBI had a pretty solid case against everybody who was associated with this Whitmer kidnapping plan, but maybe the idea of jury nullification was thrown out there or something like that. The jury hijacked the case and decided that, Whitmer's kind of a tyrant, we need to make her pay for this. Or the fact of the matter is, the FBI lied, and maybe they're as corrupt as everybody assumes that they are. And this right here, case number 1, and this dropped, what was that, like late Thursday or the beginning of Friday, something like that, and I was just waiting for any sort of statement from Whitmer's office, and as of right now that I'm recording, still haven't seen word fucking one. So, something might have been going on behind the scenes. So, let's get the groundwork out of the way. 2 acquitted and a mistrial declared for 2 others in Whitmer kidnapping plot. No, 2 were acquitted and 2 were mistrialed. I think it was with prejudice, so there's no retrying this case. So that's as good as an acquittal, okay? You know who the biggest loser in all of this is? I think you probably already know. It's the FBI itself, because they were the ones who were out there saying, there was this militia group, and one of our prized queens in office were going to be taken away. But sure, there was a plan, and sure, it might have been acted on, but it was all facilitated by their inside informants. If not for their involvement in this, it never would have came to fruition. You hear these claims all the time. It's like a self-defense claim, which we're going to be getting into in the second video of the day. But it's just one of these people who get caught red-handed, and they just normally claim, I stabbed that guy 47 times, but it was self-defense. It's like, okay, sure. Or he was coming at me with a gun. You shot him with a sniper rifle from a mile away. Yeah, no. Semantics. But then again, another one of these things where, okay, cool, there could have been an informant on the inside in regards to this case right here, but you make this wild accusation that, it was entrapment. But then once the witness list starts to come out, and there's, 6 guys that, it was even more than that, right? I bet you the people who copped a plea feel awfully fucking stupid, and if they don't serve a day in jail, just lets you know that feds might have been having a little bit more of an involvement than they let go on this one. So it's nice to see that justice has been served. And that's why I'm just waiting for a statement from the Democratic Party, okay, or from Whitmer's office herself. But the fact that I had to dig this up and do a whole bunch of running back the clock over the past 3 days, yeah, it was updated yesterday, but the fact that it's just disappeared from the headlines lets you know that they were trying to accomplish, the FBI and the DNC, they were trying to accomplish a goal with this case right here, saying that domestic terrorism is literally right around the corner. A whole bunch of white guys are planning to do bad things. They couldn't prove it. They tried to. I guess it's just going to be back to January 6th, worse than 9/11 once again. 2 men accused of plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer were acquitted on April 8th, and a mistrial was declared for 2 others after a jury failed to reach a decision. Daniel Harris and Brandon Caserta were found not guilty of conspiring to kidnap Whitmer in 2020. Harris was also acquitted of the charges related to explosives and guns. Yeah, exactly. What the FBI was like, we should probably use, explosives and guns and, IEDs and all that kind of stuff. But if they were the ones to bring it there and, basically walk everybody to the fucking Capitol steps, then, you got to bear some sort of responsibility for that. The jury couldn't reach verdicts for Adam Fox and Barry Croft Jr., which means that the government can put them on trial again. Oh, okay, so it was a hung jury on them, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here, but that's very interesting. That is very interesting. Attorneys for Harris and Caserta didn't respond to requests for comment by press time. Fox's attorney, Christopher Gibbons, said the acquittal of Harris and Caserta demonstrated the weakness of the government's case, according to the Associated Press. Yeah, no doubt, okay? You couldn't get an acquittal for a high-profile case, or you couldn't get a conviction, you ended up with an acquittal of a high-profile case at the federal level, and the feds have a fucking 95 to 99% conviction rate because they have everything sewn up. That's why when I seen this was a Fed beef, it's like, this is going to be a wrap, but that just goes to show you, because they don't compromise when it comes to this kind of stuff. They're going to get their man if it's going through the fucking Fed circuit. This reeks of a political prosecution being tried in order to set precedent. And it fucking failed. We'll be ready for another trial. We'll eventually get what we wanted out of this, which is the truth and justice I think Adam Fox is entitled to. Gibbons was quoted as saying, "A collapse of the government's federal case against 4 Wolverine watchmen. Oh my god, my militia." What were they essentially? Just a pot-smoking group who just sitting around having a fucking barbecue in the backyard and smoking pot in the basement. They weren't gonna do anything until the feds were like, hey, want to commit a kidnapping? Come on, go. Do a sedition, following a nearly month-long trial and 5 days of jury deliberations. Yeah, and the fact that they came out with 2 acquittals, and I would be very interested to know what the full decision, or how many people were holdouts, okay? What the jury was leaning for Fox and Croft. Like, was it 3 holdouts? Was it 4 holdouts? How big was the jury itself? All of that stuff would be quite interesting. With at least 12 undercover FBI informants. Yeah, it might be a problem. As you noticed, 12 undercover FBI informants. They charged, I think it was 8 people, 7 or 8 people to begin with, and then 2 of them copped a plea. One of them for sure copped a plea, and I think another one did as well. And they were going to testify and expose everything. Apparently they did, but this is what they came up with. But yes, undercover informants and agents involved in the group. The defendants argued that they were entrapped by federal law enforcement. Okay, federal trial is separate from the case involving defendants Joseph Morrison, Pete Musico, and Paul Ballar, who were accused of providing material support to kidnap plotters. Well, okay, if this trial goes forward and you're alleged to be providing materials for a kidnap that was acquitted, that's going to be a very hard case to prove. Just saying. Their trial starts in September. So if the feds don't get around to retrying the case here on those other 2 guys, I'd imagine those 3 charges are going to get dropped. They fucking failed. They failed. Whitmer's office released the following statement: on the trial outcome. Today, Michiganders and Americans, especially our children, are living through the normalization of political violence. 2 acquittals. Okay, what political violence? You wanted to bring up something else that happened in 2020? How about that? The plot to kidnap and kill a governor may seem like an anomaly, but we must be honest about what it really is. The result of violent, divisive rhetoric that is all too common across our country. There must be accountability and consequences for those who commit heinous crimes. I agree, charge those FBI informants who facilitated this happening. Without accountability, extremists will be emboldened. Yeah, that's what the justice system is for. You fucking lost. Take the L, hold the L. And maybe, at one point or another, you'll be able to fabricate some other fucking plot in order to keep you boosted up for your re-election bid. I don't know who's challenging Whitmer during the re-election campaign, but this shit right here, that's why there was this, 2-line statement on this that didn't even come from, it came from her office, but it didn't come from her. But you'd imagine, you would fucking expect, I don't know, like an address from the big house at Michigan University, if there was, convictions for all of those heinous white supremacists that were there. The political violence is unhinged, and there's nothing that's going to stop this. All of those Trump supporters with their anarchist flags, and the fact that they were talking about the government, even the federal government, which you remember in 2020 was still being controlled by Republicans. But even with all of that said, it's still just terrible, and they tried to literally snatch me up and kill me. The only people who were trying to get close to you were the feds, not these 6 fucking, or rather even in this case, just 4 burnouts. They weren't going to do anything, dude. You thought you had an opportunity here, but you dropped it, and it shattered like a pizza stone in a driveway. Sucks to suck. Better luck next time. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.